Alright, well, let's tackle the second half of level 2A. One no 6 now. Okay. So we have 2 spade tricks. 3 hearts is 5, 3 clubs is 8. There are no other tricks available from those suits. So we're going to need 4 tricks out of the diamonds. We're certainly allowed to lose a diamond. I'm not sure if this hand is as straightforward as just making sure we take the deep finesse in diamonds. At a glance, it seems like that's what we're going for. So there's some choice of how you play these diamonds. Maybe you could imagine playing the ace, playing the queen, playing the 10. All of those, maybe could be within the realm of possibility. Because we have 9 diamonds, missing 4. So if righty has the king and the jack, you could actually succeed if it was king jack doubleton, as long as you actually dropped one of these with the ace. So there's something to be said for playing the ace. It's not entirely crazy. If righty has king jack guarded at all, so king jack third, king jack fourth, there's nothing we can do. If lefty has at least one of the honors, then just playing low to the 10 first will work. So let's say if lefty had just the king, then low to the 10 might lose to the jack, but then you could finesse against the king. If West has the jack, then low to the 10 might lose to the king, but otherwise you'd be good to go. You could repeat the finesse against the jack. But yeah, interestingly, there are these combinations where we could win if East had both the king and the jack. But yeah, it doesn't strike me as something worth playing for. My immediate thought when I see this suit is lead up to the 10. And so I think there's a big difference there between leading to the 10 and leading to the queen. If you lead to the queen first, then if lefty has the king and the jack, you can actually lose because the king jack can combine. Oh, sure. I guess that's fine in this case, isn't it? It's problematic in a world where you can't lose any diamonds. If you couldn't lose any diamonds, you would need the king jack to be on your left, and you'd have to lead to the 10 first. If you can lose one, this does change things a little bit. We could lead to the king or to the queen first, and even if lefty had the king jack and ducked, they would only be able to combine for a single trick at that point, as long as we come and do the finesse again. I wonder if this helps us anything. So there's some concern that, like, if we play low to the 10 and it loses to the jack, there's still some kind of guess that remains. If East started with king jack doubleton, we'd like to play the ace. But if lefty had the king, then we'd like to finesse the queen next. King jack doubleton is one exact combination, though, compared to king with any length, or king. I guess king doubleton or king tripleton with lefty. Could be overthinking it, but I don't see a particular reason why I can't just lead to the 10. I feel like I'll basically give up on righty having king jack doubleton. I'm trying to think if there's any fancy way that we could actually avoid the trick. I'm trying to think if there's any sense of actually playing the ace first. Does that help us in any way? The The ace does resolve some guess. It resolves a guess if righty actually had singleton jack. Because what we could do, if we're allowed to lose a trick, we could do, and we haven't actually seen a finesse like this yet, where we cash the ace and then lead towards the queen. And that's a safety play against things like singleton king on the right. Though the normal play of playing low to the 10 would actually pick up singleton king in this case. But actually, I kind of like this, playing the ace first. If they both follow, then we lead up to the queen. This actually is sounding good. So if we play the ace, I mean, we play low to the ace. No reason to just bang down the ace. We definitely play up towards it. If lefty fails to follow, there's nothing we can do. If righty fails to follow when we play the ace, then we know we can just take finesses through west. They'll get the king, but they won't get the jack. If they both follow low, then we come back to our hand and play low. And if lefty shows up, nothing we can do. And if an honor falls when we play the ace, then we're just good to go. So this is actually going to succeed against King Jack Doubleton on the right, which was one of the concerns. Okay. Yeah, I think ace first is actually the right way to go. To do this, we may need as many as 3 entries to the south hand. Once to play up to the ace, and again to play up to the queen where the king might win, and then once more to play up to the queen 10. But we do have plenty of entries. All right, so up to the ace. And now, if righty has the king jack, there's just nothing we can do about it. So we're going to just come back. Not in spades, importantly. Don't want to burn a spade stopper coming back here. And then lead up to here. And now we need one more entry to finesse against the jack. But there's our entry. And up we go. Oh, sorry. We didn't actually need to finesse against the jack, did we? It was just falling. Yeah, alright. A little overkill. But we were already in our hand because of the spade lead, so I didn't do anything too silly. Okay, I'll definitely look at the solution on this one. Just to make sure I haven't missed anything interesting in the analysis. But yeah, I think the idea is that we can actually afford to play the ace first, and that will help us with a guess when righty has the king jack doubleton. Let us see. South should win the opening lead. Very true. Yes, we should not be trying. I didn't even think about trying to duck a spade. 8 top tricks outside of diamonds. Yep. And yes, we should maximize our chances of losing only 1 diamond trick. Playing the ace of diamonds gives up a good portion of the chance of taking all 6 diamond tricks. But we do not need 6 diamond tricks. We need 4. Though obviously we can't lose 2 tricks because we're in 6 now. But yeah, common theme again for safety plays is that if you don't need all the tricks, cater towards taking the tricks you need. Yes, if we start by leading a diamond to the 10 or queen, East may win, leaving South with a critical guess on the second round of the suit. Yep, that's what I was talking about. We won't know whether or not we should be trying to drop the other honor. Yeah, okay. And indeed, we can avoid the dilemma by taking the ace first. Yeah, once they both follow low, there's no guess left. If righty has both, there's nothing we can do about it, and nothing we ever could have done about it. And if lefty has one of the honors, we're going to be able to pick it up on the next round, because they'll have to play one. Turn to our hand. Play another diamond. Yep. And exactly as they say. We'll succeed unless East had 3 or more diamonds, including a king jack. So actually, yeah, this line succeeds on any layout where it's possible to succeed, which is absolutely the best we could hope for. if we were not allowed to lose a diamond, I imagine we'd play to the 10 right away. We would not play the ace first. Okay, what was that auction again? Nothing from the opponents. All right, 6 hearts. No heart loser. 1 spade. Diamonds are good. And potentially a club loser. The loser that looks nice to get rid of is the spade loser, because clubs, by brute force, we could just take all but one of the tricks in clubs. And while there is this finesse available in clubs, because of the short clubs and dummy, it's a finesse we can actually only take once. If West had, singleton or doubleton king, we could pick it up with a club finesse. But if they have as little as king third, we can't. We play the queen, it wins, and then we're forced to take the ace in the next round, and the king is still guarded in West's hand. So that club finesse looks like a mirage. Diamond finesse, however, is very real. If we can only take that diamond finesse once, assuming we were playing 2 towards the queen. But once would be enough. That would give us 1 extra diamond winner, which could pitch a spade. And then we'd be good to go, because it doesn't matter if we lose a club. So that's promising. It's worth noting that we can actually take this diamond finesse in both directions. We can do a normal finesse, 2 to the queen, or we could cash the ace of diamonds and then take a roughing finesse against East. At a glance, the difference there is just, who do you think has the king? And there really isn't any information in this auction on who's got the king of diamonds. Something else we could do, which is a little more entry dependent, is actually try to rough some diamonds. We do have longish diamonds, like we have 7 of them. Instead of taking a finesse right away, we could do something like ace of diamonds, rough a diamond, in case the king happens to fall, let's say, doubleton on either side. And then we could go back with the ace of clubs, perhaps, and do a roughing finesse if the diamond hadn't fallen. That gives a little bit more chance than taking a diamond finesse right away. Basically, we would win whenever righty has the king, or whenever lefty has doubleton king or singleton. So that's like a little bit better. Also, we haven't talked about the chance we have in spades, which is that the queen of spades could just win. Like, lefty could have the king jack of spades. They could be leading from king jack 10, though that was not typically a good lead against a slam. Tend to want something a little bit more passive, a little bit more solid than that. So leading from jack 10 9 is great. Leading from king jack 10 is pretty scary. At a glance, I don't see any particular reason not to try the queen. I don't see how we would make use of it later. There are some hands like that where it's actually worth preserving this honor for some later purpose, but I don't see it here. So the plan I'm imagining is trying the queen, expecting it'll fail, taking the ace of spades, drawing a bunch of trump because we're not going to rough anything. In particular, we're not going to rough clubs. Like, the clubs will just stand up on their own. And then doing, ace of diamonds, rough a diamond, ace of clubs, and a roughing finesse. Oh, sorry. That line has a problem. The roughing finesse line isn't very helpful if that third diamond gets covered, because then we have no more entry. Okay, in that case, it's still better to do ace of diamonds and then a roughing finesse right away, because then we could pick up a singleton king with righty, a singleton. We can always pick that up though by this line. Now I'm second guessing myself if there actually is a difference between the immediate finesse and the roughing finesse. Because to make full value of the roughing finesse, we need an entry after the point where we do the roughing finesse, because it could get covered, and if it gets covered, we need to be able to get back to the hand to actually use the newly established diamond winner. So low to the queen wins just every time West has the king, and absolutely no times East has the king. Pure 50-50. Ace of diamonds. Oh, sorry, 2 to the ace and then a roughing finesse wins whenever righty has the queen or the king, and I guess when lefty has singleton king. Does that already just make it better? By virtue of that one extra bit. Hmm. Actually, I'm going to take back one thing I said about clubs, too. I said there wasn't very much point to doing the club finesse. On the ground, we could only take it twice. But in truth, you could run the queen, it could hold. You would then play the ace. You could then come back to our hand, and then take a roughing finesse with the remaining jack 10. And then you'd have a club that could pitch a spade from dummy, letting us rough a spade. That's a little bit interesting, I suppose. That line requires like 2 entries back to our hand. One could be a diamond rough, one would have to be a heart. Oh, is it 2 entries to our hand? Yeah, queen of clubs runs 9 of clubs to the ace, entry back. Roughing finesse, and then potentially entry back. Yeah, 2 entries. So maybe we actually can combine a couple of these chances. The problem with the club finesse is that if it fails, we're just down immediately. But I suppose that's true of the diamond finesse as well. A new plan. Think about this a bit more. Back to the diamond finesse. If we take the ace of spades, ace of diamonds, and we run the queen of diamonds as roughing finesse right away, pitching a spade, do we actually care if that finesse loses? If that loses, that's our one loser, and we're going to have 4 extra winners in dummy, which could pitch 3 of the clubs, or hell, all 4 of the clubs. That looks pretty good. It's good to be on the lookout for finesses that, win even when they lose. The only exposed loser is a spade, and we'd be getting rid of it on this diamond. Even if the diamond loses, they can't attack our club losers fast enough. That actually looks like just a surefire thing. I think I've decided. Alright, we tried the queen. It didn't work as expected. We'll need 1 entry outside of diamonds to play the diamonds once they're good. And we've got that in the ace of clubs. So nothing is going to stop us from drawing trump. Let us get rid of 4 opposing trump. There's 2, 3, 4. Ace of diamonds. Queen of diamonds, pitching a spade. And now, if that finesse wins, we would just keep repeating it. But when it loses, we have 4 winners, pitch all the clubs. Yeah. Actually, like a 100% line. That took some consideration. But we got there. This has a bit of a loser on loser flavor. But I guess roughing finesses actually are always like this. Like when the person you're finessing against doesn't cover, then you go and pitch a loser. So it's basically just a normal roughing finesse. But yeah, it's one that, even when it fails, we establish just a ton of tricks, and we have the timing to use them. Cool. All right, Lefty has opened 2 diamonds. Let us keep that in mind. We expect him to have 6 diamonds. We have 5, and that leaves Righty with 2. All right, we're in 6 spades. We'd hope not to have a spade loser, but it is possible. If spades don't split 3-2, we could have 1 or even 2 spade losers. So we can't handle a 5-0 split, so let's assume that's not the case. So potentially a spade loser. Hearts are good, clubs are good, and we also have a diamond loser. Or potentially, 2 diamond losers. We can't rough a diamond without losing a diamond. It could be the case that the only thing we lose is a diamond. If spades are splitting, we can lose a diamond, rough a diamond. Oh, actually, even that's not true, because Righty only has 2 diamonds. So if we tried to rough the 3rd round of diamonds low, we'd get over-roughed. And if we roughed it with the queen, we would just be creating a trump loser for ourselves. So we can't really be roughing a diamond. But that won't work. We're going to need to go the extra winners approach. And the only suit that can furnish extra winners is clubs. And if we're going to pitch both the diamonds, we would like to have 2 extra winners in clubs. But 1 might suffice. 1 extra winner in clubs could pitch a diamond, and then as long as spades are splitting, we're good to go again. Yeah, just having 3-2 spades isn't enough, because we can't rough a diamond. We need 3-2 spades plus 1 club winner. Or, if spades are 4-1, we might need 2 club winners. Sorry, 4-2, we need 2 club winners. Sorry, if spades are 4-1, we would need 2 club winners, yes. Did it right the first time. So yeah, if clubs are 3-3, we'd go ace, king of clubs in a rough, we'd have some winners. If clubs are 4-2, we would have to ace, king, rough a club, get back there, rough a club, get back there again. We do have at least those 2 side entries in heart, so that sounds good. In that case, it seems like we ought to draw trump first. We don't need trump for entries. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I believe we should draw trump as much as we can. If it's a 4-1, we're going to, leave 1 outstanding. And if we leave 1 outstanding, then we're going to have to hope that we can work with the clubs without getting trumped. It looks like I can try to draw 3 rounds. We'll see what happens. Yeah, they do hold up. Or they are 3-2. This is good. Sometimes when we've tackled a suit like this, ace, king, 5th opposite too small, we've ducked a trick first. That is not what we're going to do here, because we have an exposed diamond loser. And we've got lots of entries. The point of that duck is to maintain communication. We've got lots of side entries. King of clubs. Alright, they split at least 4-2. And a rough. Alright, clubs are 4-2, but it looks like Righty is the one with the spade. Oh, sorry, not the spade. What am I saying? There's no spades left. Never mind. Clubs are 4-2. And we're going to be good to go. Because we've got an entry to rough the last club good. And another entry to use the club. And they can have a diamond at the end. Okay. So yeah, I think the main danger here is that you might try to rough a diamond. And in general, if we didn't have the auction to guide us, that seems like a fairly sensible thing to try to do. As long as diamonds aren't 6-2 or worse, roughing a diamond is pretty safe. But the auction has told us that diamonds are 6-2, and that we can't possibly productively rough a diamond. Trying to do so is just going to cause us a trump loser, in addition to the diamond that we have to lose just to prepare for the rough. And so we need to find an alternate solution, which is clubs. And then once we decide that we want to use clubs, we also need to recognize that it is safe to draw trump before we go embark on the clubs. Three no, and I've got lots of tricks in my hand. All right. Two spades, four hearts is 6, two clubs is 8. And we will need one more trick, of which the obvious sources there are the Jack of Clubs and the King of Diamonds. All right. Looks like another hand where we have a choice of both a direct finesse against with his King Jack, where we could take the finesse without losing a trick, and an indirect finesse with the King of Diamonds, where we lead up to the King of Diamonds. We might lose a trick along the way, but the King of Diamonds will still set up for a trick as long as the ace is onside. And in general, doing the indirect ones first is the right way to go. In this case, the danger would be of doing the direct finesse first is that they're attacking our first spade stopper. If we lead up to the Jack of Clubs and it loses, then they're going to clear spades. And now we don't have the timing to try to lead up to the King of Diamonds. They'll take the ace, they'll run some spades. Is there anything deeper to look at? There's a 10 of diamonds here, which is like a little bit interesting. You could try leading to the 10. That strikes me as slow. Finessing up to the king, or finessing the king just requires the ace on the left. Finessing the 10 requires the queen and the jack on the left, which is a lot more to ask for. And like if either of those finesses loses, they're gonna clear spades, and we can't try it again. I don't see a reason to play up to the 10 of diamonds. This first trick is forced. For any reason to do anything exciting like play out the hearts? I doubt we would learn much of interest. A point too about doing a diamond finesse first is we're not likely to suddenly lose 5 diamond tricks. Actually, it would be impossible to lose 5 diamond tricks. Righty would have to have all the diamonds, and our 10 would actually be a positional stopper against them running 5 diamond tricks. So there's no way that playing the diamond first risks us losing right away without getting a chance to try the club finesse. But yeah, up to the king certainly looks like the sensible choice to me. Yeah, I really don't see the benefit of leading to the 10. My intention is to try the king, and when that doesn't work, to try the club finesse. Setting up diamonds for like an actual trick would be kind of cool, but there's just not enough time. Like they've already knocked out the spade stopper, and leading up to the 10, I don't think would really improve our chances of establishing diamonds in any way. So it looks like we should try the club finesse next. And here's a finesse where we should cash a high honor before doing the finesse. We can absolutely afford to play the ace of clubs because we only have to do this finesse once. So playing the ace of clubs will pick up a singleton queen from righty. At this point, we certainly don't lose anything by playing hearts, as far as our chance of making the contract goes. I don't think anything can really come of this. I could take a look at the distribution, I guess. All right, heart split. Not the most interesting discovery in the world. Pitch a diamond, pitch a club. Okay. Well, righty didn't have singleton queen. If they have doubleton, they've just cost themselves a trick, but I'm guessing that's not the case. A moment of truth. There we go. All right. Yep, it looks like this hand is just about making sure we try the diamond finesse before the club finesse, and that we don't try something like low to the 10, because that just seems like a worse chance. I'm not sure how they would punish it in Bridgemaster. It seems a little bit bizarre to, if you play low to the 10, then they give righty the queen of clubs. But let's see what I have to say about that. Yeah. It is important to take the diamond finesse first. Because, as we said, if we take the club finesse and it loses, they'll clear the spades, and we can't try the diamond finesse at all. Yep. Yep. If South leads a diamond to the diamond king at trick 2, that finesse loses. We can still make the contract, and West has the queen of clubs. Yep. Are you even going to talk about playing to the 10 of diamonds? No. Okay. They consider that beneath them. But they put it there for a reason. I think they put it there to tempt you. 6 spades. Still slamming. Oh, not that we were slamming previously. We're back to the slams. Okay, 6 spades. We have an unavoidable spade loser. And hearts are good, clubs are good, diamonds are good. So the actual concern is that we could lose 2 spades. And there are certainly layouts where that's possible. Give lefty 4 spades. They could, including the ace, and they could win the win the king with the ace. We take the queen jack, but they still have a spade higher than our remaining 6. We can't actually handle that. What we can handle is 4 spades on the right. And that requires a bit of care, because if we just played king, queen, jack blindly from our hand, we'd have the same problem. East would win the king with the ace. We could go win the queen, jack, but they would have some higher spade at the end. If East does have 4 to the ace, we need to run spades past the ace, potentially 3 times. So it looks like we need a number of spade finesses past East potentially. Yeah, I might have to repeat that 3 times. We do have 3 entries to dummy, and they're not particularly dangerous. These are all in short suits. Note that we can't even play like the king of spades once. Like we can't play a round of spades first for safety. That is in fact unsafe. If East has 4 spades to the ace, we will lose if we let them actually capture one of our honors. And so yeah, in any 3-2 split, we're obviously fine. So the only extra split we can handle is 4 spades with East. Technically, this plan of leading low to the king, queen, jack, it would fail when West has the singleton ace. Because then righty would still end up getting a trick in the end with their 4 spades. But lefty with singleton ace is 4 times less likely than lefty with singleton any one of the other 4 cards that aren't the ace. We saw a similar hand like that a bit ago, where yeah, it made a lot more sense to pick up the 4-1 split that included honors in the long hand than the one that didn't. Clubs and diamonds are of equal safety at the moment. We have 6 cards in both. All right, we'll play a spade, hopefully past the ace. Cool. We presumably should use clubs next, because we've already played 1 diamond, so it's safer to use clubs for our second entry. We play a spade, hopefully past the ace. All right. And now we know for sure that East did start with 4 to the ace. And our only entry back is king of diamonds, which we will use. And play a spade past the ace again. And at this point, East can take it without costing any more tricks, so they just do. And we're good to go. Yeah, we identified the one potential layout where we could lose a second spade trick, but could also avoid losing that second spade trick. If lefty had 4 spades with the ace, or if either of them had 5-0, we would not be able to handle it. All right, 4 hearts. Partner was uninterested in our 4 diamonds cubed, and fair enough. It is a fairly minimum invite. So we could lose a heart. We're about to lose a spade. We might lose a diamond. Clubs look good. At a glance, this looks like, yeah, we would lose a heart, a spade, a diamond. Doesn't look too concerning yet. We only have 3 apparent losers, so let's be pessimistic. What could go wrong? A club ruff is not out of the realm of possibility. Avoiding a club ruff would certainly be good. Let's see how this develops. All right, ace to the king. And there's a club. Might not be a ruff right now, but they could still threaten a ruff. Yeah, so no ruff yet. I haven't really thought about entries yet, but by default, I'll play the clubs in a way that leaves an entry in both directions, like this. Not play the king. Though it looks like the only particular entry of interest in this hand is maybe to take a diamond finesse. Okay, so a club was led. Dummy obviously had strong clubs, and they were leading directly into this ace-queen tennis. The only really compelling defensive reason for that is that a ruff is coming. That East is leading a singleton. Or has reason to think the West has a singleton, I suppose. But I would guess that it's East who has the singleton, given this that they made the switch. So what could go wrong from here? We've lost a spade. If we take a heart finesse, which is the very natural heart play, and it loses, that's 2 losers. They could then lead a club for a ruff, that's 3 losers, and then the diamond finesse might not work. And that would be 4 losers. So that would be disappointing. What could we do to avoid the looming club ruff? We could be a lot safer in hearts by just eschewing the heart finesse. We don't need the heart finesse to work. We're fine losing a heart, a spade, and a diamond, as long as we don't lose a club. So what if instead of taking the finesse, we just played ace and another heart? Anytime hearts are 2-2, then we would just draw the trump right away. If hearts are 3-1, we might... if hearts are... Yeah, if hearts are 3-1, then if lefty had king third of hearts, they won't be able to give righty a club ruff. And if righty had king third of hearts, they hopefully won't have a club to lead. Or yeah, I mean, like whoever wins the 3rd round of hearts, the 2nd round of hearts, in a world where hearts split 3-1, can't possibly give their partner a ruff because they're the only one who has the hearts. So this actually sounds like a 100% line. And in general, yeah, if you are afraid of a ruff, you may want to play trumps in a way that just maximizes the number of trumps that get removed before the opponents get back on lead. We'll do the psychological thing, playing the Queen of Hearts just to induce a cover. Not that somebody should cover with all these good hearts and dummy. But let's not finesse. Let's be very safe. Okay. And now they, can't possibly get the ruff. Here's a second little piece of the danger. We think that righty is the one who had the singleton club, likely. They're also the one that has the last heart. If we take this finesse and it loses, then we're going to be down again the same way. We'll have lost a heart, a diamond, a spade, and we're going to get a club ruff. So this finesse is very dangerous. No need to take that. We're totally fine losing a diamond. Let's be 100% safe. Take control, draw the last trump. From this point, they'll get a diamond, but nothing else. And let's see if East has singleton club. Yes, they do. Oh, we did well to avoid that. I also imagine that West has the King of Diamonds. Would that be correct? Yes, indeed. So yeah, all of those dangers were very alive. We slamming. Okay, a potential heart loser. Spades are fine. A potential diamond loser. Clubs are fine. Fair enough. Any way to work with diamonds besides a diamond finesse? Doesn't look like it. We can't rough a diamond. There's nothing resembling extra winners in dummy. Pitch a diamond. It's possible we could establish extra winners in diamonds, but that's very futile because there's no losers to drop on those extra winners. So it looks like the only way we would avoid a diamond loser is a diamond finesse. And in hearts, similarly, we would tend to take a heart finesse. Taking a moment to consider the possible effect of ducking this spade. It's not completely crazy on the grounds that while we would lose a spade loser that didn't exist, we would have the ace of spades to drop a diamond loser. So you could kind of swap one loser for another, which is a technique that shows up sometimes. But taking on a spade loser seems strange in a hand where we might have no losers at all. My inclination is take the ace of... Oh, okay. Here's a good point, actually. Maybe actually quite a valuable point. We've talked about potentially doing a heart finesse, potentially doing a diamond finesse, but either of those finesses would require an entry. And there's only one entry, which we're going to have to take right now to this hand. So if we do want to take a red finesse, we're going to have to pick which one we want to take. Take a moment and consider which of these red finesses is the better choice. So the heart finesse is a finesse that we could we'll only be able to take it once. We could play low to the jack. Maybe that holds. But it's possible that for that finesse to pay off, we would have to actually take it multiple times. If righty had 4 hearts to the queen, say, then one finesse would work, but we would still lose a trick to the queen in the end. We would play low to the jack, we'd play the ace and the king, they'd still have the queen left. The diamond finesse, though, is a finesse that pays off with just one finesse. We take the diamond finesse once, and we have our extra trick right away. Or alternatively, we avoid a diamond loser right away. In addition to that, hearts actually have a decent chance of dropping the queen even without a finesse. Like, it's not odds on for the queen to drop doubleton, but it's certainly not crazy. It will happen in the low tens of percents of times. Whereas singleton king dropping when we play diamonds is much less likely. So those are 2 good reasons that we would prefer the diamond finesse over the heart finesse if we could only take one of them. And we can only take one of them because we're only here once. So let's take the diamond finesse. It works. And now we ought to be home free, barring someone with like 4 hearts and the ability to rough. No, we're just cold from here. We'll play our hearts. Righty did indeed have 4 hearts to the queen. The heart finesse would not have worked. And then we would not have been able to take the winning diamond finesse. One more draw. And now our hand is good. This gets also a little bit close to the idea of a practice finesse I talked about earlier. A heart finesse isn't exactly a practice finesse. If righty had exactly 3 to the queen, you would gain compared to just banging down hearts. But the chance of a heart finesse gaining is much less. That is actually the only time the heart finesse gains over just playing ace king, is righty has exactly queen third. Whereas the diamond finesse gains whenever righty has the king of diamonds, and it doesn't matter what the length is. I mean, assuming no diamond void with lefty. yes. It's 7-no time. At a glance, this bottom hand didn't even look like a 2-no opener. I had to actually, like, count the high cards. Like, oh yeah, okay, I guess that's 20. The spots are just so weak, and it has no shape. I would say it's actually one of the, like, poorest 2-no openings. And if somebody told me they wanted to downgrade that, I wouldn't complain. Alright. All the tricks, please. So we have 3 spades, 3 hearts is 6, 3 diamonds is 9, and there's obviously no more tricks available in either of those suits. So we had better be playing clubs for no losers. Ooh, have we actually encountered our first discovery play? I think so. We have a two-way finesse in clubs. If lefty has the queen, we'd love to play up to the 10. Righty has the queen, we'd like to play low from dummy towards the jack. Either of those might be true. This auction is highly uninformative. Is this just a guess? You can improve a little bit by, if your intention is to finesse lefty, or finesse against lefty, you would play the ace of clubs first, and then up to the 10. If you're going to finesse against righty, you'd play king of clubs first, and then low to the jack. So you'd be able to pick up at least singleton queen offside. But we might be able to turn this guess into a sure thing by playing out all the other suits first. We're going to come down to only 4 cards remaining. We should find out a fair bit about the distribution of the cards. Worth considering if we can actually afford playing all of the cards. Like, if it turned out that we did definitively find out who had the queen of clubs, or who had the longer clubs, would we have enough entries to take the finesse that way? If we took the finesse against lefty, we'd play ace of clubs, dropping the 10, and then we could then play the jack, the 9, the 8, without having to get any other side entries. I think similarly, if we were going to finesse against righty, we could play king of clubs dropping the jack, 10 dropping the 9, and then 7 towards the 8, ace 8. So yeah, we don't actually need any side entries in either hand. The club suit in isolation does provide us with all the entries we need. So it is safe to play literally all the other side cards and watch what happens. We haven't paid a ton of attention to enemy discards or enemy distribution outside of the auction until this point. But here is a case where we have a two-way finesse, and we very much may learn something. Finesses for two-way finesses most often happen for a queen. You basically can't have a two-way finesse for a king. And if you had a two-way finesse for a jack, a lot of the time you'd have so many high cards you would try to drop it. So most two-way finesses involve a queen. The auction won't tell us anything about the high card points of the opposing hands or the distribution, but the subsequent play might. So let's see what happens. We'll play 3 rounds of diamonds. And righty shows up on the 3rd round. So that's 5, 3, 3, 2 diamonds. That's 5 diamonds for west and 2 for east. Let's try hearts next. Okay, that's 5 hearts for west and 2 hearts for east. We found out quite a lot about West's hand. There are 5-5 with the red suits. So we will certainly find out a lot when we play these spades. All right. Tell me West's exact hand shape. It appears to have been 2 spades, 5 hearts, 5 diamonds, and therefore a singleton club. From this point, the hand is cold. We're going to play the king of clubs. If lefty has the singleton queen of clubs, then we're done. And if they don't, then we know that was lefty's only club. Righty must have the queen, and we will finesse against it. So we are assured from this point. All right, lefty didn't have the queen, so righty has it. 10 to the 9. 6 to the jack. Nice. If the opposing hands were very flat, we may not have found out enough information to make this guess a sure thing. But because they were so distributional, they were forced to reveal their shape when we played a bunch of side cards. When you have a suit that has 2A finesse, or even any kind of guess like this, you should try to get as much information as you can before you have to make that guess, because sometimes you can turn that guess into a sure thing. A 1 to 3 note. All right, we have 3 top tricks. Just need 6 more. Let's see what's happening here. So hearts are certainly in danger. It looks difficult to use spades. That would involve losing a trick in spades, and then they would take a lot of hearts. Can we get the tricks we need without spades? Let's take a look. So yeah, we could potentially get 6 clubs. 1 heart is 7. A successful diamond finesse would bring us up to 9. All right. So it's certainly possible to get our tricks without spades. And that's good because I don't think we can afford to use the spades. How do we get all of our tricks? Both the minors, it looks like some finesse is called for. We'd like to lead the queen of clubs. We'd like to lead the queen of diamonds. But there's only one entry to the south hand, which is in hearts. Is this a problem? So you can imagine if we took the club finesse, like I say, we play the queen of clubs, and they covered it. We might get 6 club tricks, a heart, a diamond, but how are we going to get a second diamond trick? We'd have to play the ace of diamonds and the low diamond, and then they would go take a bunch of hearts. So playing the queen of clubs doesn't sound great. Another option is to actually finesse with a low club. If a low club got covered, we'd be fine. We'd have a route back to the queen to take the diamond finesse. If a low club doesn't get covered, we could still play ace of clubs, hoping to drop a king. We do have 9 clubs, so doubleton king isn't so unlikely. We could play ace of clubs, dropping a king, still come back to clubs, or to our hand in the queen of clubs, take the diamond finesse, use the ace of diamonds to get back to the rest of the clubs. So a low club finesse looks better than the queen of clubs. And the other option then is diamonds. If we lead the queen of diamonds and it gets covered, that's totally fine. We would take ace of diamonds back to the jack of diamonds, and we could take the club finesse. If we played the queen of diamonds and it doesn't get covered, that's also totally fine. We're now still in the south hand, and we can take the club finesse. So that sounds even better than a low club. The low club working relied on like a doubleton king going on. So it looks like what we should do is use our entry for the diamond finesse, because that will let us do the club finesse afterwards. One more question here, I guess, is a potential hold up in hearts. We could duck a heart. Very unlikely to be useful, unless hearts are literally 7-2. Could it be harmful in some way? I don't think it can, but I see literally no reason for it to gain. Okay, so we'll do the diamond finesse. And when that holds, we don't need any more of these diamonds. So we're going to switch over to clubs. It also works. Cool. And we have our tricks. And there was not a doubleton queen of or king of clubs, so it was important that we did the diamond finesse first. And both finesses had to work because if either one lost, they would just cash a bunch of hearts. Alrighty, 1 no 3 no. We have 1 spade. 2 hearts is 3. Club and a diamond is 5 tricks. We have identical diamonds and clubs. Exciting. Outside of clubs, we have 4 tricks. So if we got 5 club tricks, we'd be good to go. Similarly, outside of diamonds, we have 4 top tricks. So if we got all 5 diamond tricks, we'd be good to go. So clearly, is there a difference between the club finesse and the diamond finesse, given they are identical, except for the fact that they go in opposite directions? On this auction, we have no particular reason to think that one king is more likely to be on side than the other. But we may have some avoidance opportunities. If one of the first finesse we try loses, and we only get 4 tricks in that suit, we would like to try the other finesse, if we still have the time to do it. And the way that we might get time to do it is by doing a hold up in spades. If we do this hold up in spades, well, let's see, if spades are 4-4, they're going to get 3 spade tricks. So we could afford a losing finesse. That'd be their 4th trick. And then we could try the other one. If spades are not 4-4, we can hold up twice, and then somebody's going to be out of spades. In that case, we would like to take the minor finesse that leads into the person who's out of spades, because they can't hurt us if we finesse. At a glance, Lefty's the one that has the spades. They've picked spades to lead, presumably because it's a good suit for them. It doesn't strictly have to be true, I suppose. They could have king, queen, small, potentially, and still find this is the best lead for them. But if I had to guess at the moment, I would say that lefty has the spades, and I would rather take the diamond finesse into righty. But yeah, let's hold up. As usual, if we hold up, we should ask, do we care if they switch suits? And nope. If they switch to clubs, that's a free finesse. If they switch to diamonds, that's something we're going to try anyways. If they switch to hearts, they lose all kinds of timing, because now we have both majors stopped, and we can freely try both finesses. So if we duck, they'll just keep playing spades. So we should pay attention to these cards a little bit to see if we can figure out where the spade length is. So king and 7. King, queen. 7, 6. There's some encouragement. Oh, king, queen, jack. Okay, we don't need this heart. Oh, there we go. Now we know where the spade length is, emphatically. Emphatically. So, righty has no spades, so absolutely the safe finesse is the one in diamonds. And if that doesn't work, then we can fall back to the club finesse. Just count my tricks again, just make sure I don't miss anything. So we have 1 trick already. 2 hearts is 3. 4 diamonds is 7. We do need a club finesse to come to 9 tricks. Alright. Now we can try the club finesse. Or not. Oh, oh, okay. I guess okay. I see what they would like to do. We could be a little bit more cautious. All right, let me stick that one in the wrong column. I guess our first is level 2. So they're about to cash. Well, they're about to cash 1 spade at least, which already takes us down. All right, let's consider being ever so slightly more cautious. So same idea. Let's hold up. Hold up. We'll find out that righty's out of spades. So we will take the finesse into righty. So they can't hurt us when the finesse loses. But now, instead of actually taking this finesse, queen of clubs, and letting it run, couldn't we actually take the ace of clubs and play clubs from the top? If righty does truly have the king of clubs, that doesn't hurt us. Maybe they'll take a fourth trick in a world where we could have taken 10 tricks instead of 9, but we're here for 9 tricks. If this finesse is working, then it's just as safe to play the ace of clubs and another club, and that protects us against singleton ace or singleton king of clubs from lefty. So we're going to do this the ever so slightly more cautious way of playing the ace of clubs. Tacking caution onto caution. And there we go. And we are rewarded when they have a singleton king. Alright. Once we've already found a way to play safe, we can find a way to play even safer. Never stop looking for safety. Alright, 6 spades. Nothing from them. So no spade losers. Looks like we're about to lose a heart. And we could potentially have 2 club losers. On a good day, clubs just split. And we don't lose any clubs at all. And the hand is just frigid. But I imagine we'll have to contend with a non-ideal club split. If clubs are 4-1, we would like to be able to rough a club. But if clubs are 4-1, couldn't we run into a problem where we get roughed on the second round of clubs? But we may have some ways around that. So this trick is pretty forced. You take the ace, I imagine they return a heart. Or a diamond, sure. There is no opportunity for extra winners outside of clubs that we could use to pitch the clubs. So let's consider options again. So clubs are 3-2. We would just draw trump and play the clubs and call it a day. If clubs are 4-1, can we handle that? We can't just play ace-king of clubs, because they would get a rough. But what we could do is try to draw a bit of the trump first. We don't want to draw 3 rounds of trump, because then we can't rough any clubs. Drawing 3 rounds of trump is the same as saying we're just going to rely on 3-2 clubs. But what we could do is draw 2 rounds of trump. Alright, trump are splitting. Only one person has a spade now. Now, if clubs are 4-1, we actually do have the time to get a club rough, as long as the person with 4 clubs is the person who has the last spade. If clubs are 4-1, and the person who has 4 clubs doesn't have the last spade, we were never going to succeed anyways. If we drew the last trump, we would end up losing a club, so we can't succeed. But now that we've drawn exactly 2 rounds of trump, we can succeed on a 4-1 split. So the idea now would be to play 2 rounds of clubs. If everybody follows to 2 rounds of clubs, then that means clubs were 3-2 all along. We're going to go back to spades, draw the last spade, play the clubs. But if somebody shows up on the second round of clubs, we will persist in clubs and we'll ruff once. Also worth pointing out that if clubs are 5-0, we're screwed. Alright, they follow to 1 round. They don't follow to 2 rounds. And they didn't ruff us. That would be a setting trick. So that suggests that this plan's going to work. So we can actually afford to ruff this 4th round, not get over-ruffed. How are we going to get back to our hand? Our favorite game, how to get back to draw the trump. Very unlikely to matter here, but a diamond is 100% safe. Yeah, Righty could have had a singleton heart. Maybe that's why they switched to a diamond after they won the ace of hearts. So let's ruff a diamond high as the safe approach. And draw the last trump. Were they so mean as to give Righty a singleton heart? No. But maximum safety, as we learned from the last hand. Every little percentage point matters. Yeah, I forget, did we have a hand where we did partial trump draws? I think we had a hand where we kind of alternated between, like, finesses and trump drawing. This might be the first hand where we've done a partial trump draw to give us, like, the opportunity to capitalize on a poor split in a different suit. But it's not a super uncommon theme. Still slamming. We have 4 spades, 1 heart is 5, 2 clubs is 7, 4 diamonds is 11. We need 1 more trick. Can't get it in spades or diamonds, those are already maxed out. But in hearts we have a finesse, and in clubs we have a finesse. And this looks like another similar hand where we have the direct finesse in hearts, the indirect finesse in clubs, which is playing low to the jack, giving them a chance to win the queen. And as usual, we should take our indirect finesse before the direct finesse. Any other dangers? It's important to note that you can't play the ace or king of clubs before you take the club finesse, because you would just ruin the finessing position down here. If you play the ace of clubs, you now no longer have the ability to not play the jack when you play low to the jack. So this looks like to me we're going to take the ace of diamonds, we're going to play a spade as an entry to the clubs, try the club finesse. If that doesn't work, we'll try the heart finesse next. And I don't see anything too much more going on there. We may potentially need 2 entries to the north hand. If they don't cover when we do the club finesse. Oh, sorry, if they do cover when we do the club finesse. If Righty pops the queen when we play a club towards the jack, we'd have to, the clubs would become blocked and we would have to untangle them. But we do have 2 entries to the north hand, so this is fine. Club to the jack, we try that out. No luck. Then instead, let us try a heart to the queen. And there we go. That's the finesse that works. So yeah, similar theme again. Do your indirect finesses before your direct finesses. Also, don't get yourself tangled up into spades here. Another slam in the bag. Okay, 3 now. At a glance, I see these 6 diamond tricks, and I also see a blocked diamond suit. So that's worth a little bit of consideration. This spade lead is going to give us a spade trick. Either we get it now, or they take the ace and then our spades are good. So we have 3 tricks outside of diamonds. We have at least a spade, a heart, a club. So as long as we can untangle the diamonds, it looks like we ought to be good to go. This first trick is forced. Take the ace, and they return a heart. Yeah. So we just said we're going to untangle diamonds, so let's be careful about untangling diamonds. Doing so requires an entry to the diamonds after we unblock them. That means we need the ace of hearts for after the ace king of diamonds. So what's about to happen is what I expect, which is we play the queen and West plays the king. We cannot take the ace of hearts right now. We need it for later. This looks like a cool free finesse. Sets up some heart tricks for us, but we don't need heart tricks. We need diamond tricks. And if we duck, nothing bad can happen. If they play a spade, we win down here. If they play a heart, we win down here. If they play a club, we win down here. Whatever they do, we win in our hand, unblock the diamonds, ace of hearts, rest of the diamonds. So do not get greedy. They play another heart, and again, we must win in the south hand. Unblock the diamonds. And pop on over to take the good diamonds. Our black honors are all winners, so it looks like we have an over trick. 2 over tricks. As a matter of fact, everything is good. If you took that King of Hearts, you would not have 2 over tricks. You would be down. Yep, and you see the tricks you have, and you have a 100% safe way of getting them. Take that. Alright, 4 spades. We have at least a spade loser, barring a queen-jack dropping doubleton when we play the ace-king. A very likely spade loser, and 2 is possible. No heart losers, no club losers, and 2 diamond losers. It looks like we're about to lose. So if we lose 2 diamond losers, then it sounds like the name of the game is going to be playing spades as safely as possible not to lose 2 spades. So something else surprising could happen, like a club ruff. Let's find out. King of diamonds, ace of diamonds. Jack of hearts. All right. Ducking that looks really dangerous. Okay, so we've lost two losers, and we need to make sure we don't lose 2 spades. Which is certainly possible to lose 2 spades. Like lefty with queen jack fourth, we would lose 2 spades. But we can't do anything about that. Righty with queen jack fourth, that would be a problem, because we could, if we played the ace and king, and lefty showed out on the second round, righty would have the queen jack left. So given that we can't afford to lose 1 trick, we should play to maximize the chances that we do not lose 2 tricks. Let us consider. To me, it sounds like the safe approach would be... we do still have 1 more entry left to the north hand in the Jack of Clubs. So the approach that comes to mind is cashing the ace and then coming back in clubs for a finesse. If you cash the ace and one of the honors falls, you're done. They can't take 2 tricks now. If you cash the ace and they both follow, then a later finesse would be one of these win-win finesses where either the finesse holds and we're fine, or the finesse loses and it means that we're actually splitting 3-2 the whole time. In which case we are also fine. And yeah, if lefty has four spades to both honors, then we can't do anything about that. So yeah, I believe the safest approach here is going to be ace of spades up to the jack of clubs, which isn't 100% safe. Like, a club could get rough, but it would require a 5-0 split, which is what, like 4%? Yeah. And now we do the finesse. And as long as righty follows, we're good to go. Because we'll play low, and if lefty wins, then spades were 3-2, and we should be okay. Barring second round club rough, which, is possible. If we play the king right now, we're going to lose when righty has the queen jack. Alright, I followed. No club rough incoming. And we draw the last trump. And there we go. Yes, trump were 3-2 this time, but I promise that if we had banged down the ace-king, it would not have been 3-2. Alright. Found the safest way to play the spades. More slams. Again, a potential spade loser. Hearts are fine, clubs are fine, diamonds are fine. Is it possible to lose 2 spades with this holding? It's better than before. We have the jack now, instead of missing the jack. Or traded the 9 for the jack, at least. That said, if we... let's see. If we just bang down spades from the top, if we played the ace, and lefty showed out, that would actually be a problem. We could go to dummy and take a finesse, which would work. So we would have won the ace and the jack. But now... Oh, then we could go and take another finesse. Oh, that's not true. We played the ace of spades already, right? That doesn't work. Yeah, if righty has all 5 spades, you actually need to take a first round spade finesse. So, okay, backing up a little bit. On a 3-2 split, we're good to go. We lose 1 trick no matter how we play the spades. Or sorry, at most 1 trick. Obviously, we could have a successful finesse. If spades are 4-1, we're also good to go. We could bang down spades from the top. We'd lose the queen, but that'd be it. It's when spades are 5-0 that we need to take a bit of care. We cannot handle 5-0 on the left. They'll take the queen plus a small spade at the end. We take ace-king, jack loses to the queen, we take the 10, and our 3 loses to, like, the 6. But if righty has 5-0, we can succeed with a first-round spade finesse. So if we play low to the 10 and it holds, and lefty shows out, we'll know that we should go back to dummy and repeat that finesse again. And at that point, the 10 and the jack will have won, and then the ace and the king will win, and then they'll just win the queen on the end. First round spade finesse certainly loses a trick to some very common combinations like singleton, doubleton, queen with lefty. But we can afford to lose a trick. And as usual, if we can afford to lose a trick, that's currency we can work with. So it does look like a first round spade finesse is warranted. This first trick is forced. Our red suits are absolutely identical. So let's just, I'm already hovering over a heart. Let's play a heart. And we're going to take this finesse. Note that we cannot take the ace of spades first from our hand. As discussed, we would lose to 5-0 spades with east. We need to take the first round as a finesse. Alright, it lost, but, so what? We're actually good to go from this point. They have 3 more spades left, and we've got the top 3 spades. Oh. Well, that was mean. Trying to do some more comparative probabilities. All right, let's consider. Let's put put one in the wrong column for a sec and consider some relative probabilities, perhaps. All right, so the line I described does indeed protect against 5-0 spades. But I suppose a more realistic threat than 5-0 spades is a 4-1 split in one of the red suits. A 4-1 split is, of course, more likely than the 5-0 split. So if it's the case that catering to a 5-0 split endangers us to a 4-1 split in a different line, in a different suit, I guess that's actually not the best trade-off in the world, is it? In which case, the safe thing to do would be to just bang down spades from the top. As we said before, banging down spades from the top actually just totally succeeds whenever spades are 4-1 or better. There can't be any ruff. We play ace king and the jack into the queen, and then whoever wins that third round of spades, they can't give their partner a ruff because their partner has no spades. They have to lead us back some suit that we can win, and we'll continue drawing trump. Actually, I'll take a second to consider that line is also a little bit scary. Let's imagine this. Let's say that West has 4 spades at the queen. We play ace, king, jack. West wins the queen of spades. And then they play us back a red suit. We're now stuck in the north hand with no way to get back to the spades except playing 4 rounds of a red suit that we can ruff. That doesn't sound like a ton of fun. That's going to fail in a similar way. One line that I haven't considered too much is playing 1 top spade over in a red suit and then a low spade. But that can fail in a pretty similar way. So let's imagine that one. Ace of spades, over with the ace of hearts, low spade to the jack, which loses. And now they stick us in dummy. And now even if spades were 3-2, we're probably going to get rough trying to get back to our hand. So the solution could be a completely different line that we haven't considered at all, which is just completely ducking the first round of spades. If we duck the first round of spades entirely, and they lead a red suit back, we have a spade to get back to our hand. We would lose to some 4-1 splits though. Like if we played say 2 to the 5 and we lost to the 6, we would have a guess of whether we should be finessing the jack or not. So instead of ducking low, we could do a, shall we say, middle duck. If we play the jack of spades right now, and it loses to the queen, we'll still handle all the 4-1 splits, because we'll have ace, king, 10 to draw the last 3 trump. And if the jack holds, that's fine. We just keep playing spades from the top. So I think we have found our solution, and it is to duck a spade, but don't duck low. We'll kind of duck middle because this promotes the 10 when the jack loses, and it leaves us an entry in spades to get back to our hand to draw trump. We often don't think like too much of, I think, entries back to the long trump hand, but it is a big concern when you run out of trump in the shorthand. It's definitely worth concerning yourself with how we're going to get back to draw more trump. But yeah, I believe in the jack of spades lead. They win. They play a heart. But we have left ourselves with a spade back, and we know that Trump were at most 4-1 now. And they were indeed 4-1. We shall draw them. Now let's not throw the winners away. And we are good to go. Yeah, I'll take a look at the solution on this one, but I think we have landed on the right reasoning in the end. And that's a pretty unique play. Doing a ducking not low but middly. That's a cool hand. Yeah, see what I have to say about that. Alright, so the club lead is 1. And is solid except for the Queen of Spades. It's true. Must avoid losing 2 trump tricks. Also true. If the contract was 7 spades, it would be correct to cross the dummy and finesse for the east. True. Oh, I think that's not supposed to be a wink. Wait, how did they get that? There would have been a semicolon there, right? Almost certainly. This came from Windows software, so they probably just copied the text and put it in, and then their engine changed it to an emoji. But it's pretty funny. Yeah, so agreed. In 7 spades, the safest play for no losers in spades is to do the finesse. But yeah, they might win the queen, give East a rough, as is indeed what happened. An alternative is to cash the ace, but I think we saw where that might not work. Cash the ace and king. Use the jack or 10 to drive up the queen. But then they stick us in dummy and we can't get back. Yep. Yeah, indeed. The solution is to lead the jack or 10 immediately. Exciting times. If they duck, we just continue with all the top spades. And if they win, like we saw, then we're just good to go. Doing the queen, plays a red suit. We still have an entry back in spades. That is quite a hand. Alright, the more humble 3-0. And we've got some holes everywhere. We have a spade, 2 hearts is 3, a club is 4, a diamond is 5. Let's see where we might do some work. So clubs could be played for 5 tricks. Outside of clubs, we have 4 tricks. Ace of spades, a king of hearts, ace of diamonds. So if we could just play clubs for 5 tricks, we would be good to go. And so that line might involve not even taking the diamond finesse, just ace of diamonds, immediately play on clubs. And then if clubs turned out to only be worth 4 tricks, we would have the ace of spades to fall back on. Or sorry, yeah, the spade finesse to fall back on. With the caveat that we might need like an entry back to the north hand to do that spade finesse. And if lefty had the king of clubs and held it up for a bit, we might not have an entry back for the spade finesse. Oh, actually, let me put it this way. If we take the ace of diamonds and the club finesse fails, we can actually set up a trick in diamonds. We don't need the spade finesse. That sounds pretty good. That sounds like a near 100% line. The alternative on trick 1 is taking the diamond finesse. But that puts us in a pretty scary position if the diamond finesse fails and then they lead a spade. Because we might need the spade finesse for 1 extra trick if the club finesse fails. but we won't know if the club finesse fails yet, and so we won't be in a good position to make that decision. See, Ace of Diamonds is sounding pretty good. Ace of Diamonds will do a bunch of club finesses. Even if the club finesse is offside and lefty holds up the king to block us out of taking a spade finesse, lefty can't lead the spade because that just gives us the ninth trick we need right away. They would presumably lead a heart, and then we would play a diamond to get to set up a diamond trick, and then all of our tricks would be good to go. I think this line actually is 100%. Okay, we don't need this finesse. And a lot of this is predicated on the fact that we have the Jack of Diamonds. If we didn't have the Jack of Diamonds, that would change things. But we actually have a for sure diamond trick we could set up, and we know that we're gonna have the timing to get it, because the only way this finesse loses is into lefty, who can't attack spades. All right, club finesse, ostensibly working. Aha, but not. Yep, lefty is crafty, holds up, attacks hearts as might have expected. Our clubs are good to go. So we have aces. So we have 3 tricks in the bag. Ace of spades is 4. King of hearts is 5. 3 clubs is 8. And to get a 9th one, we'll just set up a diamond. And we don't care who has the king. I suppose we're allowed to try this finesse for free because we've got stoppers everywhere. So sure, give it a shot. Nope. All right, we gave it a shot. And now we take our winners. Well, it's good to, avoid the finesses that could be problematic and may not be necessary. If you get an actually free shot at a finesse that can't hurt, you might as well take it. All right, we predicted the problems and worked around them. Okay. All right, 3-0 again. 2 spades. A heart is 3. 2 clubs is 5. A diamond is 6. We need 3 more tricks. If we get all 4 diamonds, that'll be enough. We have 5 tricks outside of diamonds. Other potential tricks are like a 4th spade and a 4th club. So, all right. Both of those involve losing a card in the suit, though. And given this heart lead, we're not going to have tempo for that. So it looks like we're going to have to play diamonds for 4 tricks without losing anything, because otherwise ops are going to get in. A hold up yet again with this 2-2 heart suit. A hold up, I think, is technically fine, but practically unlikely to do anything. Give it a shot. I think they will lead another heart, and it won't matter. So let us consider playing diamonds for no losers. And a little difference here compared to some of the suits we've seen is actually the lack of the 9 of diamonds. These diamonds aren't quite solid enough that we can go, like, we can play completely naively in the diamond suit. The most natural thing would be to lead the queen of diamonds. That's typically how we do this kind of finesse. We've seen some cases where, like, let's say we didn't have the 10 of diamonds. We've seen how playing the queen of diamonds could be fatal, because if it got covered, we'd only have, the top 2 diamonds. And in a suit like that, if we needed 3 tricks, the right choice is actually ace of diamonds and then finesse towards the queen jack. But we can't do a finesse like that here because we can't afford to lose a diamond. We have the 10, so that sounds nice. Seems like it would buttress the queen jack. But a similar problem could occur. If we play the queen of diamonds and it gets covered, queen, king, ace, and then we play the 10 and jack of diamonds, and it turns out the diamonds were 4-1, then we would still lose the 4th round of diamonds. If we had the 9, it would be totally safe to play this way. It would go queen, king, ace, and we would have jack, 10, 9, the last 3 tricks. The lack of the 9 means we should be a little bit careful about burning 2 honors on 1 trick. So instead of playing the queen, it is safer to play low to the 10 first. Now, if the king shows up on that first trick, we didn't spend 2 honors on it. And yeah, in the case I was concerned about is where righty has 4 diamonds, and West has singleton king, and this line clearly protects us against that. If West has singleton king, they'll be forced to play it on the first round, and we will have not committed an honor. Whenever diamonds are 3-2 and the king's over here, we're fine. If the lefty has 4 diamonds for the king, I don't think we can succeed anyways. So yes, low to the 10. Back here. And now we do actually have to play the queen. And so if diamonds are 4-1 at this point, then either righty has all 3 remaining diamonds and this finesse was never going to work, or lefty has all 4 and they're never going to work. So once the king doesn't show up in the first round, we have to assume diamonds are 3-2. At which point a cover does not hurt us because we can play queen king ace, and then the jack draws the last diamond. Okay, and now we can be totally wasteful. Jack to the ace, just for fun. There we go, 4 diamond tricks. Yeah, whenever you are considering leading an honor to do a finesse, make sure it is okay for that honor to be covered, or you may have no other choice. Like if we didn't have any entries back to this hand, we probably would have to lead the queen, because if we led up to the 10, that's a finesse we can only do once. Whereas if we play the queen, we could do the finesse, twice or 3 times. We play queen, play jack, play up to the 10. And we'd have to just deal with the fact that we would lose to a singleton king with lefty. But given that we have the entries, we can play this finesse the slow and safe way. Low to the 10, come back, do the finesse. Alright, last hand of level 2. Level 2A. We still have 90 more. 90 more to do in level 2 after this. Okay, 3 no, and no opposing bidding. 2 spades, a heart is 3, 2 clubs is 5. This hand looks very familiar, doesn't it? I feel like I've seen this hand before. Can you spot the difference in this hand compared to the previous hand? This is a subtle difference. And it's if I'm noticing correctly, it's that we have the 7 and 6 of diamonds here, which were not there before. I think that was the 5-4 previously. Take a quick peek back. Yup. That was the 5-4 before. Alright. Our diamond suit has been imperceptibly strengthened. I guess not imperceptibly if I have perceived it. Nigh imperceptibly strengthened. And so, how does this matter? The same play, and so let's start from the beginning. We've got 5 tricks outside of diamonds. Hearts are immediately attacked, so we can't afford to try to get tricks in the black suits because that would involve giving up the lead, and we would get a bunch of hearts played against us. So yet again, we need 4 tricks in diamonds plus 5 tricks outside of diamonds. The diamonds are a tad stronger this time. Are they strong enough that they could support us leading the queen now? If the queen was covered, queen, king, ace, and small from righty, that would leave righty with 9, 8, 5. That doesn't sound good. Because we have only one card higher than the 9-8 in the south hand. It seems problematic to me. Can we now succeed against 4-0 4-1, where West has 4 spades? Beforehand we couldn't. But can we handle West with 4 spades now? King 9-8 small. We could play the queen. If they covered, queen, king, ace. And they would have 9-8 small. We could play jack. Then they would still have 9-8, and we would still have a problem, right? But we could pick up 4 spades with West as long as East had the singleton 9 or 8. So imagine that West actually had, instead of king 9-8-5, had king 9-5-4. Now we have 4 cards. Ace higher than king, 10 higher than 9, 7 higher than 5, 6 higher than the 4. We could pick that up by running the queen. So righty with singleton 9 or 8. We could pick that up. Righty with singleton king, we have to play ace first. So better to handle singleton 9 or 8 because that's 2 combinations to the 1 combination of singleton king. Could we not still play up to the 10 first, like we did last time? And I think not. If they actually have king 9-5-4 here, if we play 2 to the 10, and now they have king 9-5, we would play the queen, queen, king, ace. They now have 9-5, and now that 9's going to win. So yeah, playing low to the 10 gives up on a couple of the ways we might actually pick up 4 diamonds with lefty. Before we couldn't pick up any 4 diamonds with lefty, but now we can pick up a couple. So playing the queen works whenever West has the king and it's 3-2. Or, West has, well, yeah, 3-2, yep. But we also pick up a couple of the 4-1 splits. And that seems to be... And those are splits that are not handled by playing low to the 10. So it looks like the diamonds have been strengthened just enough that queen first is correct. Okay, and indeed, an 8 fell. We were hoping for, if East had a singleton, that it was the 9 or the 8. So worst case, West has the king 9-5 at this point. And we can crush all of those with ace 10-7. Do that. Yep. And we come back to finesse against the 9. I did say that level 2 involved more finesses dealing with, 9s and 8s. And this sure is one of them. And then we have our 3 last tricks. I'll take a look at the solution for this one too, just to see if they talk about anything else or any maybe other way of thinking about this. Yeah, Hartley drives out the ace. That's true. And yeah, 6 top tricks. Yep. We need 4 diamonds. So should apply onto finesse West, king of diamonds. True. If West has 2 or 3 diamonds, we're good to go. Anything we do pretty much works. South can guard against West holding a singleton king by leading a low diamond. Yeah, that's true. But yes, due to the presence of the 7, we have a stronger play available, which is running the queen. We can no longer pick up king singleton in lefty's hand, but we can pick up singleton 9 or 8 in righty's hand. 2 combinations instead of 1. Actually, playing the ace picks up singleton king in either player's hand. Is that not 2 combinations compared to these same 2 combinations? Hmm. Yeah, they're describing what we did. That's against the 9. West does not cover on the first round. Continue to their honor. That's against the king. Yep. They cover on the second round, which I think is what actually happened. Come back to our hand. That's against the 9. Yeah, in the previous deal, singleton king with West was the only 4-1 break that could be picked up. That's true. As diamond spots were stronger, you choose between picking up a singleton king with West or a singleton 9 or 8 with East. Okay. Oh yeah, I guess the point here about couldn't we pick up singleton king by playing the ace, regardless of who has the king. And that's true, but playing the ace first in general is very poor because we would lose to a bunch of combinations where West had king doubleton or king tripleton. So yeah, the analysis is correct. And yeah, their way of, I think I described it as dealing with singleton king with East versus singleton 9 or 8 with East. But they're right that the right way to think about it is singleton king with West versus singleton 9 or 8 with East. Because those things we can all pick up with like the relatively normal play of finessing a diamond. Okay. Little margins. Level 2's got a lot of little margins. But that is the end of 2A. Looks like I made this through with 2 mistakes so far. So we're already a little behind pace compared to level 1, unless I managed to make it through a bunch more problems, no mistakes, but not a bad ratio so far to get only 2 of 36 wrong. And was able to see the problems after after getting wrecked. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed, and I will come back later for level 2B.